What if the key to unlocking your full potential lies not in modern self-help trends, but in ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time? Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most renowned Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. These words, written nearly 2,000 years ago, still hold profound relevance today. In a world filled with distractions, stress, and uncertainty, Stoicism offers timeless tools to help us cultivate clarity, resilience, and purpose. This video is your guide to 30 powerful Stoic practices, carefully grouped into key themes like self-awareness, emotional control, and purposeful action. Each practice is designed to help you navigate life's challenges with wisdom and strength, transforming the way you think, feel, and act. Whether you're seeking to overcome obstacles, manage your emotions, or live with greater intention, these principles will provide a roadmap to a more fulfilling and empowered life. So, are you ready to explore the wisdom of the Stoics and unlock your full potential? Let's dive in. Every morning is a blank slate. How you fill it determines your day. The Stoics understood this deeply, emphasizing the importance of beginning each day with intentionality. Morning reflection, a cornerstone of Stoic practice, is about grounding yourself in what truly matters and setting the tone for the hours ahead. It's not just about planning your tasks, but aligning your mindset with clarity and purpose. At its core, this practice is rooted in one of Stoicism's most fundamental principles, focusing on what's within your control and letting go of what isn't. As Seneca wisely said, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." This isn't just poetic advice, it's a call to action. By taking a few moments each morning to reflect, you create a mental space where you can prioritize your energy on the things you can influence, rather than being swept away by external chaos. So, how can you put this into practice? One powerful tool is journaling. Writing down your thoughts, intentions, and reflections helps you crystallize your focus. You might start by asking yourself questions like, what challenges might I face today, and how can I approach them with calm and resilience? Or, what am I grateful for, even in the midst of difficulty? These prompts aren't just exercises in positivity. They're ways to train your mind to see opportunities for growth, even in adversity. Think about how you currently start your day. Is it with a rush of notifications, a hurried breakfast, or a sense of overwhelm? What if instead you carved out just 5 minutes to sit quietly, reflect, and set your intentions? This small shift can have a profound impact, helping you approach the day with a sense of calm and control. Morning reflection isn't about adding another task to your to-do list. It's about creating a ritual that centers you. It's a reminder that no matter what the day throws at you, you have the power to choose how you respond, and that's where true strength lies. Imagine being stuck in traffic. What can you actually control? You can't make the cars ahead of you move faster, and you can't change the fact that you're running late, but you can control how you respond to the situation. This is the essence of the Stoic dichotomy of control, a principle that teaches us to distinguish between what's within our power and what isn't. By embracing this mindset, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and frustration, focusing our energy where it truly matters. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's most influential teachers, put it simply, "Some things are within our power while others are not." This might sound obvious, but how often do we waste time and emotional energy trying to change things we can't? Whether it's a delayed flight, a difficult coworker, or even the weather, the Stoics remind us that our power lies not in controlling external events, but in how we choose to react to them. This principle isn't just philosophical, it's deeply practical. Think about the modern workplace where deadlines, office politics, and unexpected setbacks can feel overwhelming. Instead of stressing over a project delay caused by factors beyond your control, you could focus on what you can do, communicate clearly, adjust your timeline, or use the extra time to refine your work. The same applies to personal relationships. You can't control how others behave, but you can control your own actions, words, and boundaries. So how can you start applying this in your own life? Take a moment to reflect on areas where you might be struggling to let go of control. Are you trying to micromanage every detail of a project? Are you holding onto resentment because someone didn't act the way you wanted them to? Make a list of these situations, and for each one, ask yourself, what's truly within my power here? The dichotomy of control isn't about giving up or being passive, it's about redirecting your energy toward what you can influence. It's a shift in perspective that builds resilience and clarity, helping you navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and purpose. When you stop fighting against the things you can't change, you create space to focus on what truly matters: your thoughts, your actions, and your growth. This practice isn't just a tool for managing stress, it's a pathway to greater freedom. By letting go of what's beyond your control, you reclaim your power to shape your own experience. And that's where real transformation begins. When was the last time you truly appreciated what you have? In a world that constantly pushes us to want more success, more possessions, more validation, it's easy to overlook the abundance already present in our lives. Stoicism teaches us that gratitude isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a practice, a way of shifting our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. And in doing so, we cultivate a deeper sense of contentment and peace. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple yet profound reminder invites us to find joy in the ordinary, to see the extraordinary in the everyday. Gratitude, in the Stoic sense, isn't about ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing the value in what we already have, even as we strive for growth. So, how can you bring this practice into your daily life? One effective method is keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand or life-changing. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. The act of writing helps solidify these moments in your mind, training your brain to notice and appreciate the good around you. Another way to practice gratitude is through reflection. At the end of the day, pause and think about the small wins or moments of joy you experienced. Did you have a meaningful conversation? Did you accomplish something, no matter how minor it seemed? These reflections not only help you end the day on a positive note, but also reinforce the idea that abundance is often found in the details. Gratitude also has a ripple effect. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you naturally become more present and less preoccupied with what's missing. This shift in perspective can improve your relationships, boost your resilience, and even enhance your overall well-being. It's a reminder that even in difficult times, there's always something to appreciate. Take a moment right now to identify 3 things you're grateful for today. It could be something tangible, like your health or a roof over your head, or something intangible, like a moment of peace or a lesson learned. By making gratitude a daily habit, you're not just practicing Stoic wisdom, you're creating a life filled with more joy, connection, and meaning. This practice isn't about denying reality or ignoring hardships. It's about choosing to see the good alongside the challenges, to find light even in the darkest moments. And in that choice, you'll discover a source of strength and resilience that can carry you through anything. What if imagining the worst could actually make you stronger? It might sound counterintuitive, but this is the heart of Stoic negative visualization, a practice that challenges us to confront our fears head-on. By envisioning worst-case scenarios, we don't just prepare for adversity, we strip it of its power to paralyze us. This isn't about dwelling on negativity or inviting disaster. It's about building resilience and finding peace in the face of uncertainty. Seneca, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, put it this way: "What is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect, and unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster." This is a reason for ensuring that nothing ever takes us by surprise. In other words, when we mentally rehearse challenges, we're less likely to be blindsided by them. This practice doesn't just reduce fear, it equips us with the clarity and calm needed to respond effectively when difficulties arise. Think about a common modern fear like losing your job. It's easy to let the anxiety of that possibility consume you, but what if you took a different approach? Imagine the worst-case scenario: you're let go. What steps would you take next? Would you update your resume, reach out to your network, or explore new opportunities? By visualizing this outcome, you're not just preparing for it, you're also realizing that even in the face of loss, you have options. You're not powerless. Negative visualization also helps us appreciate what we have. When we imagine losing something, whether it's a job, a relationship, or even our health, we're reminded of its value. This isn't about fostering fear, it's about cultivating gratitude and perspective. It's a reminder that nothing in life is guaranteed, and that awareness can inspire us to live more fully in the present. So, how can you start practicing this? Take a moment to reflect on a challenge you've been avoiding or a fear that's been weighing on you. What's the worst that could happen? Now, imagine yourself navigating that situation. What resources do you have? What strengths can you draw on? By breaking it down, you'll likely find that even the worst-case scenario is something you can handle. This practice isn't about pessimism, it's about empowerment. When you face your fears in your mind, you take away their ability to control you in reality. You become stronger, more adaptable, and more prepared to handle whatever life throws your way. And in that preparation, you'll find a deeper sense of peace and confidence. Negative visualization is a tool, not a trap. It's a way to transform fear into foresight, uncertainty into opportunity, and adversity into growth. By embracing this Stoic practice, you're not just preparing for the worst, you're building the resilience to thrive no matter what comes your way. Ever felt overwhelmed by anger or frustration, as if your emotions were steering the ship while you were just along for the ride? It's a common experience, but the Stoics offer a powerful alternative: emotional detachment. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or becoming cold and unfeeling. Instead, it's about observing your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. It's the difference between feeling anger and acting on it, between experiencing sadness and being consumed by it. Epictetus, a former slave turned Stoic philosopher, put it this way: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet profound idea reminds us that while we can't always control what we feel, we can control how we respond. Emotions are natural, they're part of being human. But they don't have to be in charge. By developing emotional detachment, you create a space between stimulus and response, a moment to choose how you'll act rather than simply reacting. Think about a recent argument you had. Maybe it started with a small disagreement, but before you knew it, emotions took over and things escalated. What if, instead of letting anger drive the conversation, you paused and observed your feelings? You might notice the heat rising in your chest, the tension in your shoulders, but you don't have to let those sensations dictate your words or actions. This pause, this moment of detachment, is where your power lies. This practice isn't just for heated moments, it's equally valuable in managing stress. Imagine you're facing a tight deadline at work. The pressure might trigger anxiety, but instead of letting that anxiety spiral, you can acknowledge it without being ruled by it. You might say to yourself, I feel stressed, but that doesn't mean I can't focus and get this done. By separating the emotion from the task, you regain control and clarity. So, how can you start practicing emotional detachment? Begin by simply noticing your emotions as they arise. When you feel a strong reaction, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now and why? This small act of observation creates distance, giving you the chance to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Reflect on a recent situation where your emotions took the lead. How might things have gone differently if you'd paused and observed your feelings instead of acting on them? By practicing emotional detachment, you're not denying your emotions, you're mastering them. And in that mastery, you'll find a deeper sense of calm, control, and freedom. This Stoic practice isn't about becoming emotionless, it's about becoming emotionally intelligent. It's about recognizing that while you can't always control what you feel, you can always choose how you respond, and that choice is where your true power lies. How often do you catch yourself replaying past mistakes or anxiously planning for a future that hasn't arrived yet? It's a common struggle, but Stoicism offers a powerful antidote, the practice of focusing on the present moment. This isn't just about mindfulness, it's about recognizing that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the only moment we truly have is now. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Do not disturb yourself by picturing your life as a whole. Do not assemble in your mind the many and varied troubles which have come to you in the past and will come again in the future, but ask yourself with regard to every present difficulty, what is there in this that is unbearable and beyond endurance?" This insight reminds us that much of our stress comes from dwelling on what's already happened or what might never happen. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we free ourselves from unnecessary mental burdens. Living in the now aligns perfectly with Stoic principles. It's about accepting what is rather than resisting or regretting what isn't. Think about it, when you're fully present, you're better equipped to respond to challenges with clarity and calm. You're not weighed down by yesterday's failures or tomorrow's uncertainties. Instead, you're focused on what you can do right here, right now. So, how can you bring this practice into your daily life? Start with small, intentional acts of mindfulness. For example, when you're eating, truly savor each bite. When you're walking, notice the rhythm of your steps and the feel of the ground beneath your feet. These simple exercises train your mind to stay grounded in the present, rather than drifting into the past or future. Another practical tool is setting daily reminders. Use your phone or a sticky note to prompt yourself to pause and check in with the present moment. Ask yourself, what am I doing right now and how can I fully engage with it? This habit helps break the cycle of distraction and brings you back to what's happening in front of you. Reflect on your own life for a moment. When do you find it hardest to stay present? Is it during work when your mind races through your to-do list, or maybe in conversations when you're half listening while thinking about what to say next? By identifying these moments, you can start to refocus. The next time you notice your mind wandering, gently guide it back to the present. Focusing on the now isn't about ignoring the past or neglecting the future. It's about reclaiming your attention and energy for what's happening right in front of you. It's a practice that builds resilience, reduces stress, and helps you live with greater intention. And in that intention, you'll find a deeper sense of peace and purpose. This Stoic practice reminds us that life is happening right now, not in the memories we replay or the plans we make. By embracing the present moment, you're not just living, you're truly alive. And that's where the magic happens. What if discomfort could make you stronger? It's a question that might feel counterintuitive, but it's at the heart of one of Stoicism's most transformative practices, voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed that by intentionally stepping out of our comfort zones, we build resilience, strengthen our character, and prepare ourselves to face life's inevitable challenges with grace. This isn't about seeking pain for its own sake. It's about training ourselves to endure and thrive no matter what life throws our way. Seneca, a master of Stoic wisdom, once wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This powerful idea reminds us that by willingly embracing discomfort, we strip it of its power to intimidate us. We learn that we can endure far more than we think, and in doing so, we grow stronger both mentally and emotionally. So, how can you put this into practice in your own life? Start small. It could be as simple as skipping a meal to experience hunger, taking a cold shower instead of a warm one, or walking instead of driving when the weather isn't ideal. These acts might seem trivial, but they're powerful exercises in self-discipline. They teach you to tolerate discomfort without complaint, to find strength in simplicity, and to appreciate the comforts you often take for granted. Think about your daily routine. Where do you rely on convenience or comfort? Maybe it's always choosing the easiest route, avoiding difficult conversations, or indulging in distractions when you're bored. What if instead you challenged yourself to embrace a little discomfort? For example, if you're used to scrolling through your phone during downtime, try sitting quietly with your thoughts instead. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but over time you'll notice a shift, a growing sense of inner strength and clarity. This practice isn't just about building resilience, it's also about cultivating gratitude. When you voluntarily step away from comfort, you gain a deeper appreciation for the things you usually take for granted. A warm bed feels even cozier after a night of sleeping on the floor. A simple meal tastes richer after a day of fasting. By experiencing lack, you learn to value abundance. Take a moment to reflect. What's one area of comfort you could challenge yourself to leave behind? It doesn't have to be drastic, just something that pushes you slightly out of your usual routine. By embracing voluntary discomfort, you're not just preparing for life's hardships, you're actively building the mental and emotional muscles needed to thrive in the face of adversity. This Stoic practice is a reminder that growth often lies just beyond the edge of comfort. When you willingly step into discomfort, you're not just enduring, you're evolving. And in that evolution, you'll find a deeper sense of strength, resilience, and freedom. What drives you each day? Is it a sense of duty, a passion, or perhaps a goal you're working toward? Stoicism teaches us that living with purpose isn't just about having goals, it's about aligning those goals with what truly matters. A life of meaning and intention, according to the Stoics, is one rooted in virtues like wisdom, courage, and justice. It's about making choices that reflect your deepest values, even when the path isn't easy. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This simple yet profound advice reminds us that purpose begins with clarity. It's not enough to drift through life, reacting to whatever comes your way. Instead, you must define what kind of person you want to be and take deliberate steps to become that person. This alignment between your values and your actions is the essence of living with purpose. So, how can you apply this in your own life? Start by reflecting on your core values. What principles guide your decisions? Is it honesty, compassion, or perhaps a commitment to growth? Once you've identified these values, consider how they shape your goals. Are you pursuing things that truly align with who you want to be, or are you chasing external validation or fleeting rewards? For example, imagine you're working long hours to climb the corporate ladder. Ask yourself, is this driven by a genuine desire to contribute and grow, or is it fueled by a need for status or approval? If it's the latter, you might feel a sense of emptiness no matter how much success you achieve. But if your work aligns with your values, say, a commitment to excellence or a desire to provide for your family, it becomes a source of fulfillment rather than stress. This practice isn't just about big life decisions, it's also about the small, everyday choices. When you're faced with a difficult conversation, do you speak with honesty and kindness even if it's uncomfortable? When you encounter a setback, do you respond with resilience and a willingness to learn? These moments, though seemingly minor, are where your purpose comes to life. Take a moment to reflect. What values are most important to you and how do they influence your daily actions? Are there areas where you feel misaligned, where your choices don't quite match your deeper principles? By bringing awareness to these gaps, you can start to realign your life with your purpose. Living with intention isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about making choices that honor your values even when it's hard. And in doing so, you create a life that's not just successful but deeply meaningful. This is the Stoic path to purpose, a journey of clarity, courage, and alignment, one step at a time. Nothing lasts forever. How can this truth set you free? At first glance, the idea of impermanence might seem unsettling, but the Stoics saw it as a source of profound liberation. By recognizing that everything, our joys, our struggles, even our very lives, is temporary, we can release our grip on the need for control and find peace in the ebb and flow of existence. This isn't about resignation, it's about embracing the natural rhythm of life with clarity and courage. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Everything is ephemeral, both that which remembers and that which is remembered." This simple yet profound observation reminds us that even our most cherished memories, our greatest achievements, and our deepest sorrows are fleeting. The Stoics believed that by accepting this truth, we free ourselves from the anxiety of clinging to what cannot last. Instead of resisting change, we learn to flow with it, finding strength in adaptability and resilience in letting go. So, how does this principle apply to our modern lives? Think about a career setback. Losing a job or facing a professional failure can feel devastating. But when you recognize that this moment is just one chapter in a much larger story, it becomes easier to move forward. The same applies to relationships. A breakup or the loss of a loved one can feel like the end of the world. But understanding that all connections are temporary helps us cherish them more deeply while they last and grieve them more gracefully when they're gone. This practice isn't just about enduring loss, it's also about savoring success without becoming attached to it. Imagine achieving a long-held goal, a promotion, a personal milestone, or a creative accomplishment. It's natural to feel pride and joy, but the Stoics remind us not to cling to these moments. By accepting that even our triumphs are fleeting, we can celebrate them fully without fearing their eventual passing. Take a moment to reflect. How do you typically respond to change? Do you resist it, clinging to what's familiar, or do you embrace it as an opportunity for growth? Consider a recent shift in your life, whether it was a challenge or a success, and ask yourself, what did this teach me about impermanence? By reflecting on these experiences, you can begin to see change not as a threat, but as a natural and necessary part of life. Accepting impermanence doesn't mean becoming indifferent or detached. It means living with an open heart, fully present in each moment, knowing that nothing lasts forever. It's a practice that fosters resilience, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation for the beauty of the here and now. And in that acceptance, you'll find a freedom that allows you to live more fully, more courageously, and more authentically. This Stoic principle invites us to see life not as a series of fixed points, but as a flowing river, ever-changing, ever-moving. By embracing its impermanence, we learn to navigate its currents with grace, finding strength in the knowledge that even the hardest moments will pass, and the brightest joys will shine all the more brightly because they too are fleeting. Ever felt tempted to procrastinate or indulge in distractions when you know you should be focusing on something important? We've all been there. The pull of instant gratification is strong, but Stoicism offers a powerful counterbalance: self-discipline. At its core, self-discipline isn't about depriving yourself. It's about mastering your desires and impulses so you can live in alignment with your values and goals. It's a practice that builds not just willpower, but also integrity and inner strength. Seneca, one of Stoicism's most eloquent voices, once wrote, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." This simple yet profound statement captures the essence of self-discipline. It's not about controlling external circumstances, it's about controlling yourself. When you can resist the urge to give in to distractions or impulses, you reclaim your power to choose how you spend your time, energy, and attention. So, how does self-discipline fit into Stoic philosophy? It's closely tied to the virtue of temperance, which is about moderation and balance. The Stoics believed that by practicing self-discipline, we cultivate the ability to enjoy life's pleasures without being ruled by them. It's not about denying yourself joy, it's about ensuring that your choices reflect your deeper values rather than fleeting desires. Think about your daily habits. Do you find yourself reaching for your phone first thing in the morning, even when you know you'd benefit from starting the day with intention? Or maybe you struggle to stick to a healthy routine because the temptation to skip it feels overwhelming. These moments are opportunities to practice self-discipline. By setting small, manageable boundaries like limiting screen time or committing to a morning ritual, you train your mind to prioritize what truly matters over what feels easiest in the moment. One practical strategy is to create routines that support your goals. For example, if you want to read more, set aside a specific time each day for reading, even if it's just 10 minutes. If you're trying to eat healthier, plan your meals in advance to avoid impulsive choices. These routines don't just make self-discipline easier, they make it automatic, reducing the mental effort required to stay on track. Now take a moment to reflect. What's one habit you'd like to improve? Maybe it's procrastination, overindulgence, or even something as simple as staying consistent with a new goal. How can you start practicing self-discipline in this area? Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Each small act of self-control strengthens your ability to make choices that align with your values, bringing you closer to the person you want to become. Self-discipline is more than a skill, it's a mindset. It's the quiet determination to choose what's right over what's easy, to act with intention rather than impulse. And in that choice, you'll find not just greater productivity, but also a deeper sense of self-respect and fulfillment. This is the Stoic path to mastering yourself, one disciplined step at a time. As we come to the end of this journey through 30 Stoic practices, it's worth taking a moment to reflect on what we've explored. From morning reflection to embracing impermanence, each practice offers a unique tool to help you navigate life's challenges with wisdom, resilience, and purpose. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're actionable steps designed to help you unlock your full potential, one day at a time. At the heart of Stoicism is the belief that true strength comes from within. It's about focusing on what you can control, cultivating gratitude, and living with intention. These principles aren't just for philosophers or ancient thinkers, they're for anyone seeking to live a more meaningful and empowered life. Whether you're facing a personal setback, managing stress, or simply striving to grow, these practices provide a roadmap to help you thrive. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest voices, once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This powerful reminder underscores the importance of continuous growth. Every choice you make, every thought you nurture, shapes who you are and who you're becoming. By integrating these Stoic practices into your life, you're not just learning to cope with challenges, you're actively shaping a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. So, where do you begin? Start small. Choose one practice that resonates with you, whether it's journaling in the morning, practicing gratitude, or embracing discomfort, and commit to it for the next week. Progress doesn't require perfection, it simply requires consistency. Over time, these small steps will add up, transforming the way you think, feel, and act. Now it's your turn. Which of these practices will you try first? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how Stoicism is helping you grow. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on living with wisdom and purpose. Together, let's continue this journey of growth, one Stoic practice at a time. Remember, the path to unlocking your full potential isn't about grand gestures, it's about the daily choices that shape your character and your life. So take that first step today, and let the wisdom of the Stoics guide you toward a life of clarity, strength, and fulfillment.